Well, hello and welcome to Edgewater Saskatchewan. This is episode 1. As we scoot around looking at our starting equipment, let's just go through quickly what we're going to be doing. So we start off as a contractor with some very nice equipment. We've got a couple of tractors, nice big fence. We've got a swather. We've got a case harvester and header, and then we've got a trailer, a grain trailer, and also some spraying equipment. So the idea is that we will start off as a contract. We don't have an awful lot of money to start off with, just about 10 grand. We've got a contract in place to harvest field 46, which is a flaxseed or a flax field. We've just picked up another 2 contracts to do field 19 and 20, which are also flax, which is a new crop on this map. So I thought that was a pretty good place to start. So there we go. We've got the field 46, and we've also got field 19. Just confirm that, and field 20, and we'll confirm that. And we can get started. So let's jump into the swather. So this is something that I haven't done before. I know this swathing machine has been out for a little while, this swathing mod. But the pickup header, which we have as well, was I think the first time I've seen that is in this map, or on this map. Now the thing is, I don't know whether you can use the swathing header and the 10% bonus that it gives on contracts. If it does, it's quite big, because then contracting becomes a lot more lucrative on FS22 than it used to be, although one would still have to do some sort of investigation as to whether it's worth it, because there's obviously some extra steps that are involved. In any case, so we've got the swather down at field 20. We'll start off with field 20. It's the biggest field of the lot. Let's get that one done and out of the way. We'll get the little Valtra and take down the swathing header, get that connected up, and then we'll soon find out whether we can actually use this machine on contracts. Right, so here we are. Let's drop that off, get it all connected up. So I was hoping to do one of each of the new crops, because they are, you can do peas and what is the other one? I've forgotten what the other product is, but there's another one, I think. Lentils. It's lentils, yeah. So we can do lentils as well. So we'll try and get through those as soon as we can pick up contracts to do those as well. So we don't own any land. We own that the little area where we've got our yard, but it doesn't come with any land. Oh yeah, definitely not. We definitely can't. Yeah, so we can't harvest with the swather. That's a bit disappointing. Well, I didn't really expect to, because then it would negate the object of the contracts, really. So we brought the case down. We'll get that all sorted out, connected up, and we'll just harvest conventionally. Get it all connected up. This case is actually pretty nice and compact, and it's for moving around between fields, and obviously the header with its own built-in built-in header trailer is fantastic. So it's just saves a bit on time moving the header between fields, especially when you're contracting. So let's get this going. Unfold it. And so this is a really nice, open, expansive map. Very strange fields, which is what you'll see now when we're harvesting. Strange shapes, which are created by the ditches that run through the fields, that are, I would presume, draining ditches, really. They don't seem to always emanate from anywhere. I know in the write-up for the map they do say that you can landscape them out if you want to, but I think if it's a feature of the area, then one needs to work around it. Yeah, so you can see all the change in directions that take place with these strange fields, which of course makes it interesting when it comes to harvesting, because there's no just putting a worker on and going, especially on console where you can't use things like courseplay. I don't know how courseplay would work on here. It should do okay. I don't know a lot about it, but I would imagine you would have to at least do a few header laps, which as I say, I don't know a lot about it, but just from watching the odd video, I think you can. I think you do key in header laps when you do it, but in any case, because some of the fences are quite tight to the fields, that's what the bother was there. So I'm not sure whether, but it doesn't look like any of the major turning points are going to be too much of a problem, because all the real curviness of the fields, if you want to call it that, are pretty open. In any case, that's enough about something that, being a console player, we can't even contemplate. But what it does mean for the console player is that it's not necessarily going to be easy to put workers on your fields. I haven't quite worked out exactly how I'm going to do it, but what I think I will do is basically, when I need to have workers, or when I start to try and create a situation where I can get workers going to the best of their abilities, and one will have to just go and check up on them, and because I think with the size of these fields, going to have to use workers to a certain extent when we're doing contracting, bringing extra help, especially when we are delivering the produce to wherever it needs to go for the contract, so we can at least have the field still going while we're doing the deliveries. In event, so we're just about getting full on this first lap. As you can see, I was having fun clearing some of the nooks and crannies of this field, just to make it a little bit easier when I have to put a worker on, for them to get up and down and not get stuck too much. I don't think they'll get stuck. It's a question of, well, if they do get stuck, they're going to get stuck in one of the ditches. Because as long as we do a decent header, they shouldn't have too many problems with the fences. Right, so let's empty off this first lot into the trailer, and then we'll get the rest of this field done. Yeah, so we've got the fence on the trailer here. It's quite a big trailer, so I think the Vultra might be a bit too small. We might have to look at that over time, because I think it might be a little bit underpowered for the equipment that we'll be using on this field. The Fent is 500 horses, so that's going to handle just about anything. Right, so we just about finished this field. Just got the last little bit to do. The yield on this field has been pretty poor. It's about 56%, so the actual farmer didn't do a lot on the fields besides just plant. And also it would appear that the general yield for flax is quite low, but we'll check that out as we go along, because the main aim of this Let's Play is to pretty much convert from being a contractor to a textile bearer. So basically we want to get clothing done. The reason why I chose to do that is because the flax straw, which you can see can be swathed, can be used to make clothing. So you can put it into the spinnery and we can make fabric from it, which of course can be turned into clothing. So in line with new opportunities on this map, I thought that would be a good way to get going. So start as a contractor, build up from there. When we get back to the farm, or to the yard should I say, I'll let you know there's two nice sort of fields around there which I think are going to be my main aim to purchase. And we're also going to have to look, of course, I know there's going to be lots of snow in the winter here, so we have to look at what we're going to do for the winter months. And also I want to make sure that I've got cover for at least the machinery, so the vehicles with machines in them, with engines in them, to be under cover for winter, so by the end of November I would say. So those are some of the objectives that we want to get done with. So we're on field 20 now. Can you just put this onto a worker now, and then I'll take the product, the flax that we have already harvested from field 19 up to the mill, which as it happens is, so we're pretty much down at the south end of the map, and the delivery point is the farmers market up at the north end. The good thing about that is we can take a trip up the main road to give you an idea of the scope of the map. So in the distance you can see the main sort of town area of Edgewater, and then we have, which I'd call Edgewater South, and we've got Edgewater North, which is right at the top of the map. And there's the main highway, or main road, which we just about come. You can see the vehicles on it there, which runs north to south, which we can just head on straight. It's pretty much as straight as an arrow. Fantastic undulations on the road, which make it feel very good, very nice. The one thing I have noticed here is the fields seem to be slightly up, so there's lots of ditches. I need to do a bit of investigation. Yeah, we can see the undulations, beautiful. The investigation about Saskatchewan in general, as to whether it is a floodplain as such, and the fields are raised, or the ditches created around the fields for drainage purposes, which is kind of what I would expect. Something like the fens in the UK. Right, so we're heading into Sask, at least Edgewater North, and the farmers market is just to the left here, or sorry, to the right. Right, so we'll go and make some sort of delivery. There we go. Right, so that's interesting. So it's delivered, so we've 100% transported for field 46 and 95% transported for field 19. All that came from field 19, so it doesn't, so yeah, so that's quite interesting, because we had 3 contracts: field 46, which is a small field, 19, a big field, a middle-sized field in 20, and because we had 3 running at the same time, the game doesn't recognize where the crop comes from. It just starts delivering. We had 46 was chosen first, so I presume that it starts delivering from the first contract that you take out. So we've fully delivered for a field that we haven't even harvested. Fantastic. We've fully harvested a field, but we only have 95% delivered for it. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm going to presume that it would clear, in the next delivery we make, it will clear field 19, and then we would actually be fully delivered, and we will have all the product that is left on field 46 for ourselves. Interesting. Not sure how that'll work, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so just got back into the harvester to finish off field 20 after that bit of excitement in the delivery. Really enjoyed that, actually. Right, at the moment we've made nothing from, no extra crop bonuses. It'll be interesting to see what we get overall. Very interesting. We've also just picked up another contract to plough the field. I think it's field 8, I think it is, which is right next door to us. But we'll get to that at the end of the day. So let's fill this up, and then I'll take this load up to the farmers market and see what happens. Going to be interesting. Let's get this offloaded and ready to go to the next field, to field 46, and then we'll have completed our flaxseed contracts. Well, for today at least. Right. Yeah, not a huge amount. Looks really small in this big trailer, because I mean this trailer can take, I think, over 50,000 litres, so these amounts look really small. So we here at the farmers market, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's a long time since I've been so interested in the delivery of product. Right, contract 20 is now 80% completed, and yeah, so we've got some harvest income. So we've got a harvest bonus of 1,500, and contract field is finished, so 19 and 20 are finished now. 46 isn't finished, but it's fully delivered, so we still have to actually harvest to be able to get that done, which kind of makes sense, but the product will be for us. Right, so let's head on back down to field 46, get the truck parked up there, and then we'll bring the harvester through and finish that off. It's a nice little touch on the left. I don't know if you noticed it. We'll try and have a look at it at some time, but there's a big It's a big sign asking for donations for the floods in Turkey. Was it Syria as well? Turkey and Syria, I think, where they had the big floods or earthquakes, I think. It just caught my eye as I drove past. So, yeah, can pretty much see this is a pretty up-to-date map. Right, let's get this done. Let's get it connected up and harvested. Yeah, I have noticed that I haven't been switching the beacons off when I've been harvesting. So it has created quite a bit of flashing lights, especially when I've been doing the speeded up sections. So my apologies for that. I only noticed it once I was editing. Right, yeah. So that field done. It's only about 3,000 litres, so we'll get that into the trailer. We'll get the harvester and header back to the yard. It's been an interesting little trio of contracts. In all the Let's Plays I've done, I haven't really done one from a contracting point of view. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes me to start converting, how long it'll be before I can get my sheds and fields built and start the transition to clothing making. Right, so we've taken the harvester and the header back to the yard. We gave it a quick wash, parked it up, and now we'll head up to the farmer's market and go and deliver it. Of course, I forgot that we actually completed this. We could have put this into our silos and waited for a better price. But I'm just about up at the farmer's market, and there you can see our field 8 as another contract which we need to finish today. So we can claim our $1,200 for harvesting that field, the contract income, and we'll deliver this and see how much we make. Sitting on 30,000 now. Just look how little that 3,000 looks in the back of that trailer. Right, there we go. Yeah, just over 5,000. So it gives us 6,500 crop bonus. Can't complain about that. Right, so let's get back to the field. Let's park this all up. So we're going to need this fence to hook up to the plough. So we'll hook up and we'll get that contract done. It's quite a big field. So this is going to be one of my main aims, field 8, to buy. I think I'll have it as flaxseed, maybe cotton, I don't know, but certainly flaxseed to get the product for making fabric. And then there's the smaller field 17, I think it is, which is just in front of the farm. You can just see it to the left there, and I'll use that as a development field. It's probably plant to start with. Maybe we'll put up some sheep on there to get some wool for the fabric as well, for the for the spinnery. Right, so got a fairly wide width here. We'll just do the headland first, and then we'll jump cut to the end of the contract. I say this is a fair size field. It's probably not the biggest, but it's not the smallest field. I think we'll be able to get enough flaxseed produced from here to hopefully last 2 seasons, because I do like to crop rotate a bit. I don't like to put flax or the same crop into the field 2 seasons in a row, so we'll have to rotate slightly, maybe get another field as well, perhaps the one further on from that. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We've only got 30 grand at the moment. Alright, so that's the headland done, and we're coming to the end of this contract. It's going to give us a nice little return. With the width of this plough, it does do it fairly quickly. Helps, of course, that we've got a nice big powerful tractor on, so we can do it at top speed. And that's that done. That's that field done. We can get this back to the yard, give it a wash. We can claim our we mustn't forget to claim our contract payment, which I think was about 21,000. Let's get that all washed up. And I think that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. And as usual, we'll see you in the next episode. Cheerio.